I want to welcome everyone. I'm going to be working with a ball, and I use a soft, supple exercise ball, pretty deflated, and place it behind my heart. It's a very simple exploration. I begin by simply rocking. I'm letting my weight and the ball move me rather than moving on the ball. I then go into an undulation, which is an up and down movement. Goes from the top of the cranium all the way to the tail. And then I do lateral C's. The lateral C is, you could think of tongue to tail, or each end of the midline moving lateral towards each other in a very subtle way. I'm not really changing my pelvis. The arms can be resting on the legs like they were, or across the body. That creates a little more weight through the ribs and the spine as I'm doing the same movement. I can place the feet up on the chair. If you don't have pelvic issues, do bilateral so that one leg is up, one leg is down. This creates a dynamic of expression through the core, moving tissue. If you want to know if your pelvis is moving, you place your hands on your hips or thighs as a way to get a feeling for where the undulation is occurring. We want it really through the midline. We're hydrating. We're hydrating tissue. We're hydrating psoas. We're hydrating spine. I then move the ball down to my psoas, and you hear my hands are right about where the psoas is and the solar plexus. And I begin again. Rocking, undulating, lateral C movement. And as you become comfortable with this, you're going to go into more of a seaweed behavior where you're combining all three. They don't have to be defined separately. The difference between moving fast and moving slow. You want to move very slow. So it's not a jerky rock, it's a letting, a receptivity. It's a porousness in your system. This becomes a deliciousness of an internal process. So it's not an exercise. There's nothing you need to do. You're becoming available, and the ball and you are interacting in a lush, juicy, spreading, oozing dynamic. The energy moves down through the foot, out through the hands, up through the head. So midline as a focal point for psoas and for healthy spine emanates out to all tissue. You're plumping, so it's not about pushing or speed. You're plumping. You can begin to see the plumping going on through my ribs and my belly. I then move the ball down to the pelvis, or mid-back. I think I'm in my mid-back now. And then down to the sacrum. So you're working along the spine, starting from the heart. Rocking. Undulating. Here I've placed it under my sacrum. And I'm placing both legs up. So I'm using my arms as a cradle. And that allows me to explore the rocking in the pelvis, not from the legs, but from the pelvis, without any stabilizing. It's just one option. One leg, two legs. But notice how working with the legs doesn't come from the legs, it comes from the pelvis out through the toes. Then I return to the heart. And I begin to work up the midline. Here I'm placing my hands under my head, using my arms now as a hammock to allow the head to participate again. The movement is coming from my weighted letting go onto the ball. For sake of time, I'm speeding up. I would stay in each place longer. Slower, simply tuning into my own system and allowing the movement to come from the inside out. So it's an expression that it's emerging from me rather than being imposed upon me.